Hello YouTube, what is up? This is the Waste Bomber to bring you a review. Yes, a review. I'm doing those now because I feel like it. But you might be asking, what game got me into reviewing? Well, 2014's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for the Xbox One. Now, for those of you who are not aware, I actually do have experience with the Call of Duty series. Last year I did a Let's Play of Ghosts, and upon playing it more, I found the game to be incredibly disappointing. Which, to be fair, is actually the result of a long cycle of games that disappointed me since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which basically felt like a Modern Warfare 2 expansion pack. But with a new development studio, and one that had 3 years to develop the game, I wondered, is this actually good? Do they actually improve, refine anything? Or is it just more of the same that we got before? So join me as I try to figure out whether or not I should really just drop the series for good. So it's the year 2054. North Korea has chosen to invade South Korea. Wow, that was really fast. Things like, I don't know, an explanation for how North Korea was able to become so powerful as to pull this off, not happening here. You're not going to get that if you're looking for it. But sure, why not? North Korea is invading South Korea, whatever to get the plot moving, I guess. However, as fast as you can say, what build-up? The US Army shows up to make North Korea cut that out. But now they have flying airships, drop pods, and exoskeletons. Oh my. But in the midst of all this, we have our hero, Jack Mitchell, and his best friend, Will Irons, two recent recruits whom, along with their sergeant named Cormac, are tasked with destroying a mortar vehicle. During this mission, however, we also encounter members of Atlas, a mercenary group that also developed the exoskeleton technology that the military uses. Oh, and also the CEO is Will's father, Jonathan Irons, but that's unimportant, right? Wrong, because while attempting to destroy the mortar, Will is killed and Jack loses his arm. Out of respect and admiration, Jonathan not only hires Jack, but also grants him a mechanical arm that I wish were steampunk inspired, but sadly, this isn't Full Metal Alchemist, so what you gonna do? And it's here where I'm going to have to stop. You see, considering how recent this game is, I don't want to spoil the plot too much for you all. I just want to give you what really gets the plot off the ground. So with that said, however, let's move on to the next big thing, gameplay, namely campaign gameplay. In terms of campaign, it's your usual stuff. Go through hallways of the big wide open battle every now and then. Although to be fair, there's more wide open spaces than narrow hallways in this game. I appreciate that because honestly there's nothing more boring than a game that plays like this. No. Just no. So if we all play Call of Duty campaigns for one reason, it's the set piece moments, and Advanced Warfare is no slouch. Here you'll find yourself jumping from bus to bus after rescuing hostages, or providing sniper cover with a drone followed immediately by a rooftop run. The point here is that Advanced Warfare brings the good stuff, and brings a lot of it. And this is barely even the tip of the iceberg. You will be doing so much more, it's insane to talk about. It's the most fun I've ever had with a COD campaign in years. Years! Of course, if that wasn't enough for you, you also have the weapons of this game. And sure, the usual machine gun, shotguns return, but sometimes they'll just give you a laser. Yes, a laser in Call of Duty. We have officially left behind the realism of Call of Duty and just gone into craziness. And I love every moment of it! Then there are the variable grenades. First up is lethal grenades, which consists of Smart, which can lock on enemies, Frag, which is a traditional grenade, and Contact, which I never use. Then we have Tactical, which consists of Threat, which highlights all enemies in range, Flash, which stuns enemies, and EMP, which does wonders on drones. Lastly, we have the exoskeleton, which can be upgraded with things like reload speed and grenade capacity. The type of exoskeleton you get also changes per mission, but two moves I enjoyed are the jump jets, which give you a double jump, and handheld shield, which is self-explanatory. Speaking of exoskeletons, yep, it's time to talk about the multiplayer, which has seen a massive upgrade from Ghosts. Unlike Ghosts, but like every other game in the series, you have to unlock your weapons and perks, which some will argue that you're too limited in this way. I personally like it as it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you gain instead of buying. Makes you want to keep going higher and higher, gives you a reason to invest time in the game, and reminds me of why I loved Call of Duty in the first place. You also have to earn attachments, which makes me feel basically the same way, as you actually have to get good with your gun in order to earn that red dot sight, and as a result, it feels like an upgrade to your weapon. Along with score streaks, the Pick 10 system is also back from Black Ops 2, but is now known as the Pick 13 system, which is better than the incoherent mess that was Ghosts. But a new feature has been added. By pressing start while on the custom class menu, you can access a firing range. Finally, for the first time in the series, you can actually do something in-game while you wait for your next match, in case looking at menus isn't your thing. You can also once again customize your character like in Ghosts, but once again, unlike Ghosts, you can actually earn pieces of armor instead of buying them, although I am firmly expecting microtransactions. Finally, we have exoskeletons, which not only adds a new slot for the ability you can have on your suit, but it's also the biggest game changer, as you are a hell of a lot more mobile, especially with jump jets equipped. Nothing beats reaching the highest point on the map and owning everyone, at least until karma bites you in the ass and the same thing happens to you. But still, it is a radical change, but also a fairly comfortable one as well, walking that fine line between fun and broken. There's also the mode known as Exo Survival, which is pretty much just a horde mode. Sure, you have things like selectable classes, a light class, a heavy class, and a medium class, but outside of that, it's just a horde mode. So if you got sick of those, then nothing here really worth seeing. But then again, Call of Duty Zombies is also expected to return for Advanced Warfare. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but it is returning, and the teaser is playable if you do some sort of trick within the game. I'm not exactly sure yet. I've only heard about it. I haven't actually tried it yet. So, the last thing I want to talk about before we end the review is the presentation. For the first time in 9 years, Call of Duty is no longer running on Infinity Ward's engine, but is instead running on a brand new engine, and boy does it show. Everything about this game runs smooth and looks amazing, and I think the cutscenes show that off best, almost looking real at times. The performances are also amazing. It's Kevin Spacey as Jonathan Irons, by the way, and he knocks it out of the water with his performance. Granted, you also have Troy Baker, who is sadly really underutilized as Jack Mitchell. Seriously, he barely has any lines in this game, and it's a shame too, because he also kills it in whatever role he's in. Joel from The Last of Us being the biggest example I can think of, but he was also the Joker in Batman Arkham Origins, and a whole bunch of other roles. Granted, that's not all that looks good, as every environment feels unique, from the snows of Antarctica to futuristic cities, which are definitely a step up from COD Ghost's mostly dark, grim, and near post-apocalyptic environments. It also sounds great as well. The music is forgettable, granted, the sounds of warfare buzzing all around you is an amazing thing to hear. Play this with either a surround sound system or stereo headset to see what I mean. So with all that said, does Call of Duty Advanced Warfare revitalize my interest in the series? Yes it does. It actually succeeds. The 3-year dev cycle pays off big time. I actually care about playing Call of Duty again, and I'm looking forward to see what Treyarch and Infinity Ward are going to do with this cycle. Needless to say, Sledgehammer has developed the best Call of Duty game in years. So, you got me hooked. However, if you don't really like this series, or in some cases just flat out hate it, Advanced Warfare is going to do nothing to change your mind. It's refining what came before, and refining it into something I find an enjoyable experience. However, if you're on the fence for this game, then I recommend buying it, because ultimately you're going to have a good time. Well, it's either this or Halo the Master Chief Collection, or Sunset Overdrive, or Assassin's Creed Unity, or Assassin's Creed Rogue. God damn it, there are so many games coming out this year! But with that said, join me for my next review, which is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, by the way. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time.